This is the Anything But Banker to Broker podcast. We're going to be talking to some of the industry's best and brightest about the unique pathways they took before stepping into broking and how it set them up for success. Thanks for listening. Here we are. So we've got a very special guest today. We've got Peter Savage joining us from Savage Money. So basically he's been doing what he's been doing now for the past few years. Year one, I think he settled about 27 mil and he's on track to settle, well, way over that, mate. I mean, we can get into that later on. But like me, you grew up in housing commission, housing trust, and it really is probably the fire in you that's driven you to build this business. You obviously did a lot of blue collar jobs when you were growing up, but kind of noticed that you wanted to put the money aside and build something for the future. And here you are, mate. So good on you for doing that. I reckon you could probably introduce yourself better in your words, though.
Well, if you don't know who I am, I'm Peter Savage, Savage Money. I started off, like you said, in housing trust house, a single mum, and obviously I learned pretty early that pain was related to money. That didn't do anything at that point in life. It was more over the next 10 to 15 years. I can't say I was good with money, but I noticed the correlation with wealth creation. And just that was probably my, just working in a factory for 15 years, I realized that trading time for money was not going to get me the life that I wanted, or that I deserved either.
Probably would have given you a bad back, right, if you were still doing it now.
You know what? I sat on a bucket. I ran machines. I just read books every day about wealth creation, property, finance. There's nothing I didn't read, and I just sat on a bucket. That's all I did all day. I was just trying to do as much overtime as possible, buy as many properties, debt ceilings, not quite understanding that the difference. Everyone I went to was telling me, a broker would say, this is it. This is what you do. What else can I do? I don't know. Go to an agent to tell you one thing, an accountant tell you one thing. Everyone's opinions were biased. They're all competent, but they just didn't understand all of it. So my job is I wanted to know every little bit I could, pinches of salt to fill that gap of, there's got to be a better way to do things. And it's not be a vanilla broker, it's one of them.
So growing up, mate, what was that like? Because obviously I grew up in a house with a single mum as well. And the opportunity for her to go out and work was very few and far between because all of her time was spent bringing me up. What was that like for you?
I feel sorry for my mum. Imagine two of me. My mum had to put us in those little harnesses at the show so these little fuckers didn't run away. But then we just run as far as we could and get slung back. I see people with those on their kids and everyone's like, oh, look at that, it's disgusting. I'm like, fucking trust me.
I suggest them for our daughter because my mum had 4 of me, right? And I'm probably the most tamest out of all of us. The middle 2 are absolutely nuts. But my daughter now, I can see that she's got a bit of the shepherd gene in her. And I keep saying to my missus, we should get one of them backpacks so we can pull her back in that.
No, but you know what? Like my mum worked through bits and pieces, but you just fucking can't. Like she just couldn't do it. So that was just, you know what? And that's where I kind of realized, like, it's when you're in that kind of position, you go, oh, I want to do something different. I didn't do it straight away. I didn't read Rich Dad Poor Dad until I was in my 20s, and that was kind of like growing up ADHD. I always thought, I wasn't that smart, but I thought I was wired differently. I thought differently. I was always just like ticking. And then I realized I hated reading books. But then I remember when I was a kid, I actually loved reading. I just lost that over time through school. I picked up Rich Dad Poor Dad and it just hit all the right things and I just got me obsessed. That was it. Read one book and gone, I fucking love property. I love money. I love wealth. And that's where I got the correlation to work harder. But then I hit a ceiling. I looked around the factory. Everyone was fucking earning more money, getting more debt. And everyone was just fucking divorced and miserable. So I was like, well, this is not the fucking answer. So I thought, you know what? I've got to start a business. But that was still 12 years before I left. I still stayed there because I didn't know what to do. I knew it was big property. I didn't want to sell houses because at the end of the day, trying to sell a house to someone who doesn't want it, I figured finance is like, they already got the property. I've just got to do the solution and help them buy more. So it was like a win-win for everyone.
You can help them make those informed decisions rather than spruiking and trying to put something on them that they don't, you know what I mean? Like you can lead them to realize.
And that's where it comes down to, like most of our clients who come through us go through social media. So they already know what I'm like. A lot of them come to me and they have a goal, but they don't say, they don't know what else. They're like, can you please show me how to invest? How do you do it? What does it look like to own a property? What things should I be aware of? Like they come to me for education and at the back of it, I do a loan, but like the loan is the smallest component. It's understanding what are your goals? What are your needs? What life stage you at? Once you understand that shit, oh, yeah, cool. Well, this is how you borrow the money. This is what it looks like per week. Do you like that? Cool. Well, this is the bank we should go to. Like 3 or 4% of the fucking conversation. A lot of the conversations like, why do you want a bigger home? If you do that, this is going to be a mortgage for the next 30 years. Like, could you stay here for 5 more, buy an investment property, wait till the kids are a bit older? Like just giving them a pinch of salt in every other scenario. Who are the successful clients and who aren't? collectively getting all that, this is what you can do. This is financially a better decision. But if you go buy the dream home now, you're going to do fuck all. You're going to pay minimum repayments over 30 years. You're going to retire. You didn't put anything in super. Like, it's just, these are all the things you kind of pick and choose. And it's just planting seeds, and they just think differently. A lot of the time they come to me with one decision, and we end up leaving them doing a whole 180. You know what? I'm so glad you said all those things, because I say to every client, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. They're like, thank fuck, because everyone else just sucks my dick. And that's the problem with everyone just sucks everyone's dick. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I can pre-approve you. I'm like, pre-approve you through this amount. You're like, well, yes, you can do it, but that's fucking a terrible decision. I just got off the phone to a client just then, and they were like, what's my max borrow? I was like, we can get about 1.6 purchase. And they're like, all right, cool. And then I ran the numbers, it's all right per week. I'm like, that's probably the worst thing you could do. So you're in your 40s, $1,700 a week for the next 30 years. You're going to sell an investment to buy it. I was like, you really need to have a hard decision about, like, what are you going to do to set yourself up? You've only got 20 years to go. They're like, all right, cool. Let's stay in the 1 to 1.1. We're happy with that. And then, like, you know what I mean? Like, just having that conversation, like, yes, you can do it, but fuck no, you should not do it. Like, if you really want to do it, do it. But I'm going to tell you, if you do that, the trade-off is, what are you going to do about retirement? Your super balances are low. You're not contributing extra. You probably need to chat to someone about that. And it's just telling them, like, being brutally blunt, like, that's a fucking bad idea, because have you thought of this? And then I go, now you go talk to an accountant, financial advisor. My job's to shock them a little bit. Just maybe a little bit. It's like a little emotional slap, like pull your head in, like, this is not okay. You don't need a large family home. You didn't have kids. Like, just instilling a bit of, like, hey, realization here, like, this is probably not the idea for you. But if they walked into another brokerage, yep, cool, 1.6, let's do it pre-approval. That's it. That's what they'll get. People don't question it. Like, also, a lot of the people who sell the product, they don't fucking know. They have no idea how to ask someone about their goals, how to map out the future, and think about that shit. My job's just to go, well, these are the things you can do, and then put them in touch with the people that can help assist all that shit.
Very similar to me, right? Like, I try and do what I do as ethically as possible. If someone says to me, mate, I'm absolutely spinning my wheels here, like, this is not going on, I sit down with them and I go, right, what is the thing that's pushing you forward with your business to do what you want to do? Like, do you want to have someone come in and run operations because you want to be able to go on holiday and enjoy yourself? Like, what's the thing behind the scenes that's pushing that, like, and trying to give them a solution that is matched to that, rather than just being like, yeah, mate, you need a loan processor, I'll go and get you someone. You know what I mean? So it's just selling ethically, innit? Like, swish.
That's it. You've got a problem. Here's the solution. If you don't want a solution, you don't have a fucking problem.
Correct. Going back to what you said about books as well, mate, I struggled with that, because very much the same as you. Like, I have to read something that I'm interested in, otherwise I won't read it. So, like, the first 2 books I read as an adult, I did it in the last 5 years, by the way, which is pretty embarrassing, but I don't care to admit it. It was The Big Short and it was Catch Me If You Can, right? And I only read those books because I'd seen the films about 20 times each. I knew I was going to like it because you know what I mean? But then I picked up I got one of them Kindles recently, mate, and, like, that's so much easier to read if you've got ADHD, because you're not, for me, like, carrying a book around, flicking the pages, like, yeah, it looks good, but I need something that I could just pull out of my pocket, go at. You know what I mean?
I thought about that, actually.
Mate, you should get one, honestly, game changing. If your brain needs to switch between as well, you've got 4 or 5 books that you can kind of jump in and go at. So you've, like, what I think is good for you, right, from your client's perspective, is on your journey, going back to what you said about being sat there in the warehouse, right? Sorry, in the factory, you were saying you knew what you wanted to do, but you still stayed there for 12 years, right?
Yeah,
goes back to you and what you're saying to your clients about, like, yeah, you could do this now, but the benefits of you waiting and sorting this stuff out and doing it a bit later on, like, versus just rushing into it now because emotionally it feels the right thing to do.
Also, a lot of it is I didn't have anyone like me to help instigate that. Like, there was no one thinking like that. Like, in my circles, friends and influence, there was no one, not one person would go, leave your job. Like, we're at 6 figures. We're doing, like, unlimited overtime, great money. You just had to be there 6-7 days a week. But no one, like, even goes, yeah, you should go start your own business. So there wasn't a lot of that. So it was like, and so when a client sits down with me, they get every client's win. They get every client's loss. They get that through the advice, the education I talk about. They get every book I've read. They've got every mistake, every win. All of that, it's not bias. It's like there's a collective pinch of salt, all these things that the 1% use, and that's what you base everything on. Because if it works for the top people, the best properties, but also understanding their life points as well, having a good way to ask really good questions to get a good understanding. But hey, look, you're in this period where you've got 3 young kids, your missus isn't working, you shouldn't be fucking thinking about acquiring more assets. You've already got a couple. we'll circle back, we'll keep it going. And then when you get back to double income, kids are at school, you can fucking go harder again. Like, getting people to understand where they are, because they compare themselves to everyone else. And that's the problem. You're going to, where are you in your journey? And just, then they kind of go, they feel comfortable about it because they stop comparing themselves.
Yeah, I know what it's like as well. Like where I grew up back home, people, if I was saying I was going to start a business, I won't be getting positive, like, it won't be negative, don't get me wrong, but everyone would be very much, what was one, like, because you obviously, from what I've read, you've invested yourself, right? You've walked that path so you can speak to people, but like, when did you start to notice that, yeah, this is a way for really setting myself up for the future?
Like just in property in general, or?
Yeah.
You know what? I reckon I was probably like 14, 15 when I realized you could buy a house. Thought everyone rented. No, I was probably, back then we didn't really, social media wasn't as present. We didn't have the information that's available today. It was just going around the area. Like there's a lot of developments, the old wogs, they had all the land, chopping up at buildings and that, not knowing anyone really close to that. Started to like picture like, all right, property is it. I think I didn't buy my first property till I was 24. And then I did buy another one for 4 or 5 years. But like I wasn't focusing on it at the time. I just waited. Can I? No. Then one day, yes. So it was kind of like just, then when I was going through the process, just picking apart things like, well, what about this? And like, oh, I didn't think of that. I said, well, if I have to say that, what the fuck? Like, why are you not thinking like this? And that's where I started to realize, like, would you swap places with the person giving you advice? Probably not. You know, like, would you listen, you know, that's how I started. Listen to the bankers and brokers tell me how to invest in property when they lived at home with their parents driving a Camry. Well, the fuck, I'm the one with 4 properties, so I want to listen to you. So like, it just comes down to like, someone may be qualified, but are they competent? Don't know. That's probably half the reason with this industry, even with accounting. Like, you know, we need accountants, but a lot of people go to them for advice, but really you need to ask them the right question to get the right answer. If you don't ask the right question, you get the total wrong fucking answer. So like, people rely on people way too much. And that's probably a problem where everyone goes, I need a financial advisor or a financial planner. Like, well, you don't, because what you want to do doesn't apply. That's not what it is. You just need someone to tell you what you want to do. But a lot of it comes down to, it's just life. What do you actually want to do? Get in touch with the person that could help. But most people just, oh, I'm not good at this. Well, you're not, because if you were, you'd probably swap places with me. When I grow up, you know, when you grow up, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to be old enough where I just get it. I know what's going on. And you get it, you're like, fuck, our parents have no fucking idea. Every cunt's just winging it.
True. It's true, man. Like this country versus like the UK. If I said to my parents, like, yeah, I'm going to invest in a property, they'd be like, who do you think you are? You know what I mean? A house is for you to buy and live in. What are you on about? Like, invest in property. You're off your head or something. But like, you know, you realize that it is the only way that you can really build something that you can leave behind. You know what I mean?
You can either build a business or buy property and invest, even like investing in shares or super. That is after tax or before tax. That is capped. But like, to really accelerate wealth creation, it's either buy property, leverage, or build a business. And most people can't build a business. And buying property, everyone can do it, but a lot of people don't do it. So it's just, you've got to fucking pick something, because your minimum contributions into super is not going to fucking do anything. Like, that's it. You're going to be on the pension. Fucking, that's it. You're going to face that.
So building that property started when you were 24, yeah? So are you like, you now dealing with people that are the same age you were when you bought your first house? Do you notice that? I mean, it's obvious to say this, right? But do you notice the playing field's a bit different? Like, it's not level? Or do you feel like when you were working up to being 24 and buying that first one, your mindset was a little bit different? Like, there wasn't all these vices.
Oh, like, fucking, all I did was like go out and party. Like, I just wanted to buy a property. I reckon, like, I've seen more people in their 19 to 23-year-old bracket with fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. And they are very mature. It's like the nightclub scene's shut down, and it's social media. Like, there's two things: pushing down partying and wealth creation and financial literacy has just gone like this over a decade period. All these young 21-year-olds have got fucking like between $70,000 and $200,000 in the bank. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where? Like, how? It's probably like probably 5 out of.
Is that transfer of wealth, or is that them actually being smart and save it?
Saving it. Like, it's insane about how many people have actually got a lot of money in the bank. Some people, you know, they've got like 40, 50 grand here, but like over the track period, they've been saving since they were 16. So many people are disciplined, and it's a lot. Like, none of them are using the schemes either. Like, they've just been grinding, you know, and they are still living at home, which is fine because they're still fucking early 20s. But like, you sit there saying cost of living crisis, like, it's just a spending crisis. There's fucking people out there, and everyone's earning really good money. Like, In saying that though, my content doesn't probably bring in the person who is struggling. My content's bringing in, I probably do get perfect credit scores, high income, high equity. Because you know why? Because my content asks for that. I don't talk about, I'll help you fucking credit. I'm not going to, I don't, my content doesn't say talk about first home buyers as much because they are harder to work with. My content's at traders, you know, two incomes, equity, because they are my high, that's how I like working with other business owners, investors.
You've walked their path, right? You get it,
Anyone who
man.
wants to do more in life, self-managed super, build a portfolio. I like that because when we talk, we work, we jerk. You know, I don't want to work. I don't want to, you know, spend my time trying to talk to someone about like, oh, but this bank's 0.3 better, this one's 0.2 better. I said, well, none of them fucking matter because you can't get that, babe. Like those people that go back to a 30-year mortgage 5 times. But I didn't want to refinance it because I'm not doing them a justice. I said, just go back to your bank and get a fucking better rate. They're not my clients. You know, they'll serve someone. Go to Aussie, they'll save you.
True, it's true. Yeah, but there's no long-term benefit for anyone in there if they're not coachable and want to listen to you, right? And understand that you know what you're talking about, you know your shit.
And I say this to our brokers all the time. Don't fucking cast a net to get everything because if you can only have the capability of running 20 loans, say 10 loans a month, no, everyone does 20. If you only can do 10 loans a month, make sure they're fucking the best loans you could possibly have. Because if they're your favorite loans, you're probably going to have spare time, you can go home. If they're fucking 10 shit loans, you're going to have a really bad month. Like just, it's going to drain you. So just only ask for what you want. Someone else will take those leads.
Was tradies a direct niche that you've gone for, or is that something that's come back to you from the way you are, the way you present, and like just what you're doing? You know what I mean?
Just not really. It's more just that's how I talk.
Yeah.
I have a passion for business. I ask them to think bigger. I pull them up on their shit. Like it's not just traders. It's anyone who's self-employed. So the hardest thing they've done in life is start a business. Buying property and building wealth is fucking easy. Starting the business was the hardest thing they ever could have done. So by then I said, you've already jumped. You're good. We just got to make sure that, you know, team up with the right accountant, the right team to execute on your goal because you don't want to work for 40 years in a business that fucking spat out no wealth except for a fucking paid off home in a wild track. There's no ROI on that.
I know what it's like. I'm 12 months in, mate. Like, you know what I mean? I got a baby. I got a missus out of work. Like it's hard, but it's rewarding. But you need, you know, like you said there, you need smart people in your corner to make sure that you're doing it the right way and not just treating it like it's a high income, self-employed job, right?
100%.
Onto that, you're obviously now bringing people into the fold. You know, you obviously had people, I can imagine, offshore when you were first getting going just to help you with that stuff. Is that right?
No,
you?
I only hired my first offshore last November, about a year. It was a year ago. Like I've got my partner Terry, my wife. She's ops manager. She just takes care of all the back end stuff, make sure everything's done. And then my first hire was Lachlan. He come in at about year and a half, and it was pretty much just me and him in the office. And then the next hire after that was Terry's mum, who's our remote admin, who just does all hello packs, gets all the docs. She works between part-time and full-time. When it was just 4 of us, we still did a 17 mil month. Like, and we didn't work past 4 o'clock. So like, we already had a smooth process. But then it started to obviously we wanted to keep those next goals. And then we started to go offshore and we went from 1 to 5 within 6 months. So we've got 11 of us now. We've also got Dave in the office who's coming up as a broker and Ross as a contractor as well. So yeah, it's a good sized crew now. But we're trying to plan for, like, we've been doing lodge of 30 to 35 loans a month for the last 6 months. So we want to get to we need to build out while we're still here, try to build out the roles, define roles, the targets, because I want to get to 45, 50, 55 loans a month. I'm
going to ask you this question because you like to talk about it and you're open about it, which I respect, right? Obviously, the MFAA posted a report a couple of months ago and it was talking about how many people are writing very, very low volumes. Like, I reckon you'll give me a good answer on this. Like, what do you reckon the reason for that is? Because for me, you are the poster boy of you can put the work in, you can do well in this industry. You just need to be willing to do the work.
Apparently, I'm a finfluencer, someone said. I'll fucking wear that. It is because cashbacks were a red hot flag about 90% of brokers. Now, there's a lot of brokers who write a shitload more than me, but they are behind a desk. You never know who they are. There's only probably 5 to 10 brokers who use social media like I do. And we use it to leverage ourselves because, you know, I could have built this business over 10 years organically, or I did it 3 using social media as an accelerant. The main thing that I realize is, you know, there's so many brokers that just do $1 million a month or sub than that. Like, it's not even a fucking wage. It must be part-time. But what it is they get into this business and don't realize it's 95% sales. That's it. and they sit there, they don't know how to get business. And the only way they know how to sell a loan is to find you a better rate. Now, they are the shittest clients you'll ever get because they will just go to the next shiny carrot and they'll leave you and you get a call back. Now, obviously there's different markets. Rates are going up, rates are going down. At the end of the day, you've got things that if you're repricing your loans, you're looking after your clients. Rate is something that it's not the highest priority for any of my clients. That's the issue with those because people sit there, they don't know how to offer value to their clients. They come in and they go, yep, I can get you 0.4% better. I'll refinance. Cool. If you actually crunch the numbers, like it's not even doing them a fucking favor. Like, why should they save 30? Someone can take this the wrong way because of cost of living and shit. But at the end of the day, why the fuck should they save 40 grand a month to lower their repayment when they just going to go back to a minimum repayment and not pay more? It's fucking ludicrous. There's bid to stop that, but people still do. Like, you might go back to 30 years for servicing perspective because you're leveraging investments and then put the repayments back up. There's a plan to it, but refinancing someone back to just to save them on rate, they could just go back and reprice the loan. Now, there's something you've got to do that for, but you will see a lot of brokers who just go, I can get you a better rate. As soon as rates drop, I can get you a better rate because that's the only way. Now, we need that. We need to make sure people can keep rates down. But that's the only way they know how to get business. So when you've got 50 brokers in a fucking suburb trying to advertise a rate, you're not going to win. How the fuck are you going to get any business? Because they just go to the next person and then, you got to try to retain that client, all the standard processes where you go, you know what, stay in touch. I'll send you this email. And then next thing you know, 12 months later, they've forgotten about you because you're not using social media. No one checks their fucking emails. And bang, they've gone to someone else because the rates popped up. They don't know about clawback. They don't know about anything. They don't know the adjusters. Imagine not looking over your shoulder all the time, worried about if your client's going to leave. That is it's 95% sales, 5% admin.
Understand the gap. They ask the question that gets there, and what they need to be doing is understanding, you know what, there's millions of reasons. Here's the gap. Here's actually why I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do. It's not that I need fucking an extra $2,000 a month or whatever it is. Like,
there's a lot of businesses out there that, if you've been around for 10, 15 years, you can literally just refinance everyone at fucking 2 years and fucking just hit hell high refinance settlements. Cool, change bank, get paid again. I'm only hitting my fucking first anniversary, so I don't even think about that. Like, my job is to just understand all fucking, my clients also. I'm just trying to think where I was going with this one. I've probably done $5 for dollar refinances in the last 12 months. I would probably try to push half of them away because I'll go, look, by the time you refinance, these are your costs. You're going to go back to X. You're going to save this. It's not doing you justice. I said, look, go back to the lender, say this, and this. If you can't get this rate, I'll look at it for you. This is talking between big banks. You should never really refinance between fucking big banks. If you've got a good credit score, good income, there's no point changing banks for 0.3, 0.4. Not if it's sub-mil. It's not even fucking viable. You go, wait, why don't we just hold off? Come back when you got some this, and this. And they go, you know what? When they crunched the numbers and looked at it, they said, well, I'm only better off X. And I've got to go through a whole application. They've got to go for fucking this, got to change banks, got to do this. I'm like, just to save this much per year. They're like, oh, all right, cool. They'll go away, send 3 friends.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're going from a second tier to a third, if you can see the savings, you do it. But you're not going to just go, oh, I can do it. You're going to only be fucking this much better off when you do it for a whole application, do all this shit, change banks, delete apps. It's like, it's not even fucking worth it. Like, kill it, get paid. But I've got the flexibility to say my pipeline's so fucking full. I said, I'd rather just do the honest thing and just say, don't even fucking worry about it. I said, I'll get you a better rate anyway. And if we can't, then we'll talk.
What, you obviously took you a while to become a broker, but what was that transition like? Was it, yeah?
I was still in the factory. I was going through a fucking divorce. I was studying, trying to get my accreditations. I was working 12-hour days. I was just like, fuck, this is never going to end. So it was a fucking lot, man. And you know what? There's a lot of fucking hurdles to go through to get into the industry, that's for sure. Setting up, especially, I didn't go the conventional way. I just started Savage Money day one, never wrote a loan. Insurance was hard to get. Everything was hard to get because what do you mean you never wrote a loan? So trust me. So it all panned out, but it's very hard to start that way. But I knew that the Viking mentality, when they rape and pillage new lands, they burn the boats, plant a tree. I don't know if that's true because it hell long to build a new boat to go home after you win, but.
No, well, I mean, I don't know about that because, have you seen the people from Denmark? They're all like 6'3", 6'4". You look at everyone from England, mate, they apparently landed on our shores. They're all small as fuck. So, but yeah, no, I respect that you did it that way. And what did you do in your first year again?
Fucking not a lot. Made videos. They made me feel sick when I watch them. I don't know. I remember the days when we're doing I remember within my fourth, December, and I started in July. I remember in January I settled $4 million. So like I just kept fucking making content, but I also had a plan that I started my Instagram in March. So like before I started doing educational stuff, wealth creation, mindset, and I just filtered through. So I'd already had that. By the time I launched, I was like, this guy knows it also. If people don't know, they can assume you're a professional, but my content versus someone, the RBA is releasing interest rates straight away, like authenticity is not there. So I'll make videos, people relate, and they just shoot me a message. Hey,
Your videos are like not calls to actions, they're like calls to you. You know what I mean?
if you don't make a good decision, you're going to end up with a pension crying.
Yeah. And then people go, fuck, you know what? I don't want to do that.
Look, at the end of the day, it's like you can sit there like I'm not pushing it in anyone, but my job's to, if you don't do anything and you stay the way you are, you're not going to hit or not hit their goals. But have you actually even thought about this? How long are you going to stick your head in the sand? And then also, I'm 30s, fuck, I don't know, I'm 37 or 38. I've got 2 properties in super. I document that. I talk about it. People are like, wait, I can do that. Like just using social media as a platform because, you know, like got Ross who's new in here and he's like posting videos, but then like you post a video, 25% of your followers see it. And it's like, cool. Then they don't know who you are until they see it again. So that's why you have to keep your stories because you got to think, you just want as many eyeballs as possible. So my job was like, I think on my social media at the moment, like Instagram, stories and reels, I think it floats around 400,000 a month. So it's like, I'm just continuously just trying to keep it busy. So that means every time they think about fucking house, they can fuck that savage cutter. Like, that's it. I just want to annoy as many people as possible, so they call me.
Are you paying for that strategy, or is it all organic? Like you're just putting it out on the social media?
I watched a couple of videos a long time ago. Watched Ty Lopez, and it's just start with a hook, have a problem, make them go, "Oh, that's me." Have a solution, call me. That's it. Every video is based on that. If you look at the video, that's how it's broken down. Hook, stop them scrolling, and then it's like the problem.
Reality.
Haven't got any taxes? No worries. Cool. There's a problem. I haven't done my taxes, and then they'd be like, I can get you a loan with 2 bass or a loader. Like, fuck, I've got them. And then, hey, call me, but make it funny. That's it. Like, there's nothing in there. There's no policy. There's no banking. There's no lending. It's just, all I want to do is get that cunt to call me, and then I'll talk about it. So, like, you don't have to get into anything. You just, like a parental guarantee loan. Got no money, sitting at home on the couch smoking bongs at your parents' house? Go, cool. Parents own their own home. You can buy a home with no deposit if they let you, so you can finally get the fuck out of the house one day. You know what? I just made that up. That's good content. I don't do that one.
Yeah.
So
instead of, we'll get you a granny flat in the back garden, you can smoke your bungs in now.
So it's just like hook, problem, solution, call. So it's the same thing over and over again, and then it works. Look, I don't try to do trending stuff. I just make videos. I'll think, oh, let's look at policy. I make a video, and then I don't have a strategy. I just drop a video, I boost it, $50 a day for a week, and some of them go nuts.
Yeah, I need to do that. I'll just record stuff when something will pop into my head, and I think, fuck, if I don't do something with this now, I'll just forget about it.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah. So you said, I read that you wanted to, you're trying to build a business that's not going to burn you out, right? Which I know when you have a brain like we do, you can very much easily burn yourself out. So how, do you know what I mean?
Some days, I'll be on the phone for 6 hours. Like,
yeah.
Fucking the phone all day. And by the end of the day, man, like, I'm just like, it is the most tiring thing I've ever done is because when I'm on the phone, I'm on. I've got to transfer my energy, and it's fucking exhausting. Because I've got to get that person to switch their mindset, switch their behavior, switch their thinking. By the end of the phone call, they're like, oh, fucking pumped. Like, because you know what most people say? I've never heard anyone ask, no one's ever asked me those questions before. Like, well, who the fuck's got it? Like, your accountant's not got it. Your financial, like, that's where I've got that. That's mine. Probably my best asset is unlocking what people want to do and then showing them how to do it.
How do you keep yourself busy outside of work? How do you look after yourself?
I just need to go to the gym in the morning. I hate training. I hate running. I like doing weights. I only go to the gym so I'm not a fat guy. That's it.
Yeah.
I just my body, and I need to do it as early as possible because I cannot train during the workday because business is my top priority.
And then after work, you fucked, man. Same as me. I trained for a marathon, and I was running half marathons every Sunday as my end of the week thing. And then after doing that, I stopped, put about 10 kilos on. I'm like, fuck, I want to get into the gym in the morning. I can't get myself up. You know what I mean? But that's a routine I'm trying to get myself into.
Oh, so then they get in the trap. I'm so busy, I'll skip gym, and then you skip gym and you eat shit. And
yeah.
It's just trying not to go down the spiral. And that's just a part of things. This is, I suppose, like right now, like I've probably never onboarded and had so many clients book in a 2-week period. Like it's nuts. I reckon we've onboarded probably 15 clients in 2 weeks, and we've probably got 15 people book in. Like it's nuts. And it's just like, and they will all convert and they will sell. Like that's it. Cause the content filters out all the shit. No one's calling me that's like, I know, like, you know what I mean? Like my content only asks for people that I want to talk to. You know what's funny? Someone said this the other day, like you hear every broker, the best referral is from a previous client. I say that's the fucking worst referral, to be honest. Because think about this. You've got your clients come through. They'll come through. They've been my ideal client. Trading, they've got everything. They go tell their cousin who's not who's not my client, calls me and I can't help them. Like I don't know who come up with that. Someone who come up with that is just like, that's just a lazy mentality. Yes, they gave me a glowing, they said you're good, I trust you. Doesn't mean it's a fucking deal. But also in saying that no one else would get that, because my social media pre-warms clients up. Before I even get a call from a client, they're asking about if they see my wedding, like kids. What I've found is I push market, I don't pull market. So I'm educating until I answer their question, then they reach out. So that's it. So I'm just making as many videos as possible. One video, they go, hey, and then they reach out. So I'm push marketing. And when they reach out, they already like and trust me. So it's like the second I get them on the phone, I go, where'd you find me? Instagram. Cool. I know you've already heard me swear. You already know what I'm on about. They just go, yep, tell me what to do. There is probably no better lead than what I get from that. Like, it's unmatched anywhere. And when they refer, they're always they're not that great. Unless they're like the same person. But, hey, can you help my cousin out? Blah, blah, blah. Fucking casual one day, fucking credit score shit. And
you said you can get me this right.
You know what? No one probably ever said that before. Like, they're like, oh, the best leads is referrals. It's because you think
they're the people that have found you. They're the best ones.
There's probably no fucking, I think probably got one of the highest conversion rates, because everyone's just like pre-qualified, because if they can get past my content, they might try.
Yeah. And I think that's why brokers are doing so well, and they'll continue to do so well, because I'll speak to bankers that have like transitioned, and they'll still have their backup, and they'll still have this thing about them where like they can't drop the corporateness. But it's like nobody wants that, you know what I mean? Like, if you're dealing with even a professional that's them having to do that all day, they want to deal with someone who's going to let them drop their guard. They don't want to be dealing with people that are just going to make them mirror them having their backup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? It's something about being a broker. Once you've seen you've looked under the covers of their life, there's instantly a connection with client. Once you've seen their fucking bank statement, they're like, oh, you're one of us now. I mean, like, it's instant trust.
Let's talk about some of the shit you've seen. No names included, obviously, but you said, what like deals that you've had go through and put through. What's some pretty funky stuff you've seen there?
So, no, not the ones I've gone through, but you get some weird ones coming through. And like, obviously, as like, they're not really weird, but like as trending stuff comes through, like, you got your TikTok people, your OnlyFans, stuff like that. Like, it's funny because someone will come to you and you're like, talk about this situation, and you slowly unlocking like, oh, really? Like, it's just, people try to like keep it close to themselves. Like, oh, you got 300 grand in the bank. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a dancer or something like that. It just like people make money in the weirdest ways. People like, what's the fucking, what is that? One guy, he just sells collectible figurines, and his like profit was about $300,000. You know what? It opens my mind to how much people can be creative. You got the right mindset, you can make money out of everything. But you know what? Out of a genre of people, creators make most fucking concrete. Fuck, like, you can go to school and be adopted, and concrete is like mobile.
Yeah, I've got a mate of mine he's a patcher at the moment, working up to being a concrete, and it's like, it seems like every hour of the day he's working. It's mad.
No, fuck yeah. But like, look, you see some weird stuff, especially on like bank statements coming in, like, yeah, it's a bit hard to see when you get 85% of your money from OnlyFans. That's a bit of it.
Would the bank not go for that?
Oh, well, it's their income coming in, so like, at the end of the day, it's a part of the income. I don't know how it's
I'm not asking because I've got it myself. You see, I'm just wondering.
But other than that, look, you see some. You know what? Get even weirder. I want to buy this and do this. I want to, like, had one guy say, I want to buy this farm. I want to grow mushrooms. All right. I don't know. Doesn't have a house, and he had 50 grand deposit, and it's a 30-acre property. So you're so far away from this. It's not funny. And he goes, oh yeah, but like, like, I said, you can't take that to a banker's business plan. No one's gonna fucking lend you.
We're not talking shiitake mushrooms here, I don't think, are we?
You know what? Probably not with that.
What was I going to say? So, like, obviously now you're a leader now. You've got a team like underneath you, and I can obviously tell you'd be a good person to work for. But what's your training strategy, or how are you hiring people as well? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, are you looking for people who you can see your 17-year-old self in and be like, yeah?
No, that is the worst thing you could ever do. Because apparently my wife says I got rose-colored glasses on, and I see the best in me. Now, I have been not lucky, and I've seen the best of you, and it's been great because all my hires have been really great. like Lachlan right now, who's one of our first, he's actually leaving in 4 weeks to start his own business. And we fully support that because that's what our plan from day one. You know, that's worked us, but we've got to a point now when we start to go offshore, it's not our specialty. So we brought someone in to do that for us. I will do the final interview, gut feeling, I like it, but it's already ticked all the boxes. So I get the fucking final thing. But my wife, Terry, she's worked in operations and HR for large plumbing companies. She's run teams of 50. So I lean on her for that because at the end of the day, I go, yeah, he's good. I like him. That doesn't fly when you start to get to this point. So having all those things in place, and then I do an interview. Yep, I like him. You like him? Cool. We do that. So, but going forward, like we have someone who gets our offshore for us.
Yeah. That's your model, is it?
At the end of the day, it's not my specialty. I wouldn't even know how to do it. And that was probably where we hit our next curve. Like we've been growing, and then like we've gone like that. So that's having that was critical to that process.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, going from like small business to medium-sized business, like that is where it starts to get a little bit tricky, but it's also very rewarding if you are getting it right, is the way you bring people into the fold and the way you do it, because
you've got to work out if you want that business though, because like if you're seeing the shit that I go through on a daily basis, because like there's like we've grown so quickly, it's not clear. You know, there's not the structure, just like we still haven't got, our roles are not clearly defined. We just kind of help each other. Like it's not as, no business is clean cut. It's all, everyone's just figuring out the best they can until you get to that next corporate level. So my next goal is to give those clear cut roles. But like, no matter what you do, you just go get more time back. You go find more business. You just fuck it all up. You just run from one end to the other. Like I think this calendar year, we've already done like 250 lodgements for like 170 mil this calendar year. Like if you told me that a year ago, I'm like, no, fuck, I wouldn't even believe it. But it's like, we're here. We're doing it. And then like you try to, I like to think I'm thinking ahead, a higher ahead, but no matter what I've done, I've always been behind. I'm one to take risk and pull the trigger early, but I've always still been behind the 8 ball because I'm also leveraging the fucking turning the tap on and getting the lead. So like, no matter what I've done, I've always still fallen short. But it gets to a point, like, is there a point where you don't have anyone that's ready to write, ready to lodge? Probably not. Like right now I'm looking at the fucking pipeline and there's fucking 23 deals that need to be written today. And there's 15 getting onboarded as we speak. That will happen in the next 5 days. I don't know how the fuck we're going to do that because that is a lot of fucking loans to run. But it's just, no matter what, like I can't wait to see what the problems next year are.
But every year you've set yourself ambitious targets, yeah, and you've done that intentionally to make sure that you're not slacking and you're pushing yourself. Right?
And I'm in a fucking, I should have went higher.
I mean, I always try and reset at the end of through the year anyway, right? Like
this goal's 250 settlements.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're going to get there because I've kind of pulled back these last few months because we've got some stuff to work on, but we never know if we do this work with the team. And I'm not making videos at the moment. Like you see my shit everywhere, but I'm not actually posting because I fucking got a lead problem, which is not a bad problem to have. I'm hoping maybe January, February, March, I'm still settling like 20, 25 mil. Like we're still going to get it done like every month, but it's like, I'll pull back a little bit. So I don't want to, I want to try to fucking plan for the next fight, like the rest of the financial year. So the goal is get to like 40, 50 loans a month, but I need to spend a bit of time now with what we've got and try not to fucking shit the bed. That's it. Like it's just the same shit every fucking day.
What are you doing? What are you thinking when you're looking like a bit further into the future? Like how do you want to grow the business if you've thought about that?
I've been thinking about this a lot lately and I've been speaking to a few key people in the industry, mentors that I lean on for this kind of stuff. And I haven't sat down and really didn't think I knew I'd get here, but when I'm here, you can't imagine what it's like. You can't imagine back then when you set the goal, when you actually kick the goal, like, to settle, to hit the MPA top 100 in my 3rd year. I set the goal to do it. I said I wanted to do that before I started and I did it. Now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, fuck. And then you know what? I haven't really thought much past that because it's just been an absolute roller coaster. I think the next while we start to build out the internal side of the team, like we got to build in KPIs, like designated roles. So everyone's clear on when they go to work what they've got to do, because at the moment it's fun. Oh, can you do this? Can you do that? It works, but I know it's not going to work if we're doing 30 to 40 million a month in settlement. My plan is the next couple of months, just really focus on the core of the business and then come out the other side for your fantasy and then just fucking foot on the gas and then find some time to think about the business. Because at the end of the day, I could probably do this for another 4 or 5 years being the key man. Peter Savage Money. Like, there's no need for me to pull back on key man risk because at the end of the day, I've just started. I could do that. I love talking to the clients and come up with a solution. I don't write the deal. I do the recommendation and the bid and all that stuff. I don't do the data entry. Like I actually don't even type anything anymore. I do voice handover. So like I can do that for a very long time. I could do 30, 40 people a week, but there's going to be a point like, what am I doing it for? It's going to be very mentally wearing out.
Well, that's the thing, right? Your name's on the door, so they've come to see you. You know what I mean?
They're coming for the video.
They come to see you. Like, yeah.
I can do it. I don't know. Look, we're going to have brokers coming up where I get people calling me now like, hey, look, I'd love to speak to one of your brokers. So it's already starting to happen where people aren't expecting to talk to me. And there's going to be a point where I will maybe keep the leads within the business, but I only work with the ideal clients. I can't talk to. I don't need to strategize a refinance and cash out for a carry. I don't need to do this. I'll save myself for the good stuff. But at the moment, I just keep doing what I do best.
Well, you're obviously doing good stuff, mate. I respect it. I respect it a lot. Like, I obviously respect that. What I like about this industry is that the work that you put in is what you get out. You know what I mean? And you are a shining star. I'm like, just put the graft in, back yourself. But obviously, learn as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a lot of brokers out there that jump head first into it, new to industry, that didn't put the time in to learn before. You know what I mean?
100%.
People might say, oh, you're new to industry, but you spent fucking 12 years actually making sure when the lights came on, you knew what you were doing and what you were talking about.
100%.
You know what I mean? So thank you, mate. Now, before we wrap it up, what have you got on this year that's going to be not work related, that's going to be nice? Is the Savage getting his head down, like chilling, relaxing? Have you got anything good on?
I need more fucking holidays. And that's something
We need more holidays.
Like, we've been grinding for 3 years. We didn't have the honeymoon yet. So we want to start just creating some more boundaries for ourselves and go on some more holidays. That's it, really. Just a bit more downtime, I think. Like, this is probably the first time. Obviously, my son's just reaching school age. So, I want to start to, school holidays are going to be a thing. So starting to plan the business where I can go away for a week or two more often. I got away with it while young. I've got an 18-month-old as well. Like, the goal will be to start creating where I can go away. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of doing this if I can't I can buy property. I can buy cars. But you know what? I want to be able to go on more holidays.
Where do you usually go? A Bali fella?
Nah, we haven't been anywhere. We might go to Bali on New Year's Eve just to take the kids, but we haven't really done anything. We went to Japan last year, but you know what? Just go to new places with the kids, come back, businesses keeps running. Because at the end of the day, like, also I need to inspire like everyone in the industry. A lot of new brokers want to like, they see what I'm doing and they think it's like, this is exact. I make it look sexy, but broking is not how I make it look. I do that as a social media tactic to bring in clients because they love my car, what I put online, high performance, fitness, the wealth creation. That is the target audience that I like. That's what brings them in. But that's not broking. Broking is fucking 95%. So I want to show people that this is what broking could do if you build the right business, but also do it from a point where I need to show them that I can still have a life outside of this. Because what's the point of inspiring people if I can't even have a life and have all these holidays for my team and other people's team? Because I do use social media quite openly, and this is what it's like. I can do it well.
Well, look, thank you for jumping on, mate. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, mate.
No,
some top insights.
Been great, mate. I love fucking a bit of a chat. Good to speak to you, mate.
Always. Thank you, mate. Take care. See you in a bit.
See you, mate. Hi, Peter speaking.